Everyone, today I'm going to talk about wealth creation and how investment in a proper technology can actually create wealth for a startup or an entrepreneur. So, as a budding entrepreneur or a startup, you should understand the concept of wealth creation and investing in technologies and developing technologies which will actually lead to wealth creation. How to create wealth around the technology or doing business, how the wealth is created, what kind of profit margins you can actually think of. So the first and foremost thing is to create a conducive environment, a conducive ecosystem for the technology in which you want to invest. If we talk about India per se, you should see technologies like renewable energy. A lot of innovations are happening in renewable energies because, again, you need to innovate and understand that protecting your innovation will actually help you to create that wealth not only by getting a patent granted. However, that the technology itself can be licensed to any third party. You can actually get royalty, and there are other scenarios whereby you can create wealth by making a mark in that particular arena. When we talk about making a conducive environment, you need to make an impact in the society. And if we talk about solar energy per se, a lot of technologies are happening in India. A latest technology which is being discussed across the nation is talking about rent a roof policy. So, rent a roof policy, the name itself suggests like you're renting out your roof. The bill for the electricity which is consumed after deducting the power generated by the solar rooftop panel would be charged. So these are the innovative ways by which the Indian government is taking a direction in helping innovators across the globe, not only in India, to treat India as a country where a lot of business opportunities can happen. India is a country where there's a lot of solar power. There's a lot of solar power, so you can actually harness that energy and use that energy to innovate technologies which would be renewable in nature. And the technology itself should be able to make a history. And when you talk about solar energy per se, you need to penetrate at the grassroots level. If you understand, right now India is looking for models whereby the technologies are sustainable at a grassroots level, so that it can be implemented at a very low cost in every city or town or village in India. When we talk about state of the art technology per se, the word itself means the technology which is developed to suffice the purpose of mitigating a problem. So you need to identify the problems which are already existing and come up with a solution which is very cost effective. And per se, when you talk about how to go about even starting a business in this domain, when you actually want to generate innovations and file patent applications which will actually help you to protect your innovation in a long run of 20 years, the best way is to do your own market research. Google is a very good tool, or you can use any other tool online. Use internet for doing your personal market research. And when you do your personal market research, a lot of ideas will bounce and you would be in a better position to understand what kind of technologies are already existing in the domain in which you want to invest your time and energy. So what we can do right now is, as innovators, not only in India but across the globe, you should take a mission. Right now we are already at the end of the fourth quarter of 2017. What's your mission for 2020? If you have that mission in mind, and if you can build a prototype and understand how the whole scenario of even investing in XYZ business is going to raise your bar, it will help you to analyze the overall ecosystem. Even intellectual property is very much in demand when you talk about the share market across the globe. For example, a company named About India is launching its new product, and it is going to enter the vaccine segment. So you can see a rise in the share market. So even in investing in shares, you should understand everything is dependent on what kind of technology is there, how the technology is being protected. If a patent is being granted, obviously the share is going to rise up because a lot of technology transfer is going to take place. And in the Indian Patent Act, there's a clause which talks about compulsory licensing, whereby you need to give the technology at affordable cost if it is not being worked in India. Then there's a working statement requirement in Indian patent law, so you need to see that also. So if a patent is not being worked and you think that patent is of value, you can actually approach the authority and get a deal from them, and you can pay them a royalty, and then you can introduce that particular technology in market. So there's a lot of things which can be done around when you understand the whole ecosystem of how the patent system is working in India. So it's not only important that you need to innovate in particular technology, but you need to understand the business acumen of doing business, as a lot of technologies are there in the market whereby foreign companies have filed the patents in India, but it's not being worked in India. So you need to understand what kind of technologies can be worked on a sustainable scale, and you need to talk to those particular company in-house counsels, or it can be, as I said, you can actually approach the authority in India to see that if a particular patent or a particular technology which is already protected by intellectual property rights is not worked, you can obviously approach them and see how to go about it. So the runway to success come to those who believe it. So have faith in yourself and believe in what you do, and definitely things can work in your favor. So you need to come up with good taglines, you need to come up with good brand names, you need to protect those brand names. The best thing which is happening right now is India is granting of trademarks, or the process of registration of trademark is fast tracked, whereby at least the first process, which used to take 9 months to 18 months, has come down to less than a month. So less than 30 days the prosecution part of the trademark application is done. However, one should note that all the documents should be in place. All the, if you're talking about, if particularly if you talk about trademark, you need to submit the document whereby you are actually claiming a prior usage of the mark. Affidavit has to be filed with the proper exhibits. Exhibits per se can be your website domain, the day the domain was registered, so that can also act as an exhibit. And any other document, maybe it's an invoice whereby you actually hired someone to even make your logo or tagline. So any document which is a proof, even an email can be a proof as an exhibit for trademark registration to claim the prior use. And if you have any questions relating to your branding, or if you're looking for strategic advice in doing business in India, we would be happy to assist. Please put your comments in the comment box below, and you can get back to me on LinkedIn.